Now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk Hookup. Get ready for more of the best fishing information and the hottest tips on improving your angling skills. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Yamaha Outboards. Reliability starts here. Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. And by Rancho Leonero, where your wildest Baja dreams come true. And now, Southern California's sports fishing voice, the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray and Rock Cod Rick Maxa.
Welcome back, hour number 2. Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Pete Gray here, Rock Cod Rick Maxa is here. Buck Everingham from the Everingham Brothers Bait Company is our guest today. Awesome show and so much fun hearing about bait.
Yeah, and learning so much.
Learning so much from Buck.
I just can't get over all these things that I had no idea. And, you talk about guys that have knowledge. Well, one, you hear, when a guy like Frank LaPreste has praise for somebody like that who's seen it all, that tells you a lot. But the things that Buck has seen and does, and like when he was just talking about knowing what bait it is by the splash that it makes when a single bait fish flips out of the water, like, that's a guy that knows what he's looking at, for sure. Well, we're having a great show, and there's so much great information, another great hour of it, and we're excited to hear from you. If you want to be a part of Let's Talk Hookup this morning, you can do that. Give us a call. There's 2 ways that you can reach us, and first is with our local line. That's 858 area code 457 1090. Again, 858-457-1090, or call us toll-free, and our toll-free number is 877-792-1090. One more time, 877-792-1090. Not only are you going to get a chance to talk to Buck, you're also going to win a fantastic prize, because one lucky caller at the end of the show today is going fishing on board the beautiful Liberty at a Fisherman's Landing. We're giving away a 3-quarter-day trip, your chance to go fishing with Captain Taro and the boys on a beautiful 3-quarter-day ride.
All right, let's find out what's biting out there, Ricky.
You got it. It's time for our FishDope.com report, which today is sponsored by the Sato Crimp and Winder Company, where they only make products that work. If you want to end connection failures, you need the Sato Crimp Kit. It's the must-have piece of gear for your trip to help you catch everything from school-sized tuna to record-sized tuna, and with all brass crimps and other features, it's better than ever. It's the favorite connection method on the Royal Star, the Royal Polaris, the American Angler, and most of the other top boats, and if you haven't already, you should make it your preferred connection. Get it at selected tackle stores like Fisherman's Landing Tackle, Shark Bait, Save On Tackle, Taka's Tackle, and the Longfin.
All right, check it out.
Yeah, let's start it off with our private boater buddy, the man, Captain Mark Wish of Pacific Edge, our FishDope.com reporter's on the line. What's up, Mark?
Hey, good morning, Ricky, Pete, Buck. Great show today, guys. Buck, thanks for all your help, man. We appreciate it a lot.
You bet.
So here we are, guys, deep into winter, and conditions are still looking pretty good. We finally had that first real storm of the season, some wind, a big swell, and we bounced right back with minimal drama. A lot of that water is still 60-plus, 61, 62 in some places. Amazing for mid-January. Catalina is looking pretty good right now. Quite a bit of squid, backside east. That's been the best zone. There's other areas, but that's been the main one. Bodes very well. There's been a steady pick on some mixed-grade sea bass, a few yellows, and some really nice halibuts in that sector as well. Best zone there has been from Silver Canyon east along the Palisades. That deeper water area is 16 to 22 fathoms, and there's also been some fish up on the beaches and kelp lines as well. A whole sector for this time of year is looking good. At San Clemente, minimal reports this week. Really didn't get much other than good calico bass fishing up shallow on the plastics. Along the coast, cod season shut down now, guys. No cod fishing here for a while. And those poor sculpin are taking a beating, man. And remember, they got to be 10 inches, 5 fish limit on the sculpin. Don't go crazy with them, even though they bite full speed sometimes. But they sure are tasty. We stopped on a little wreck coming down from PV the other day for a few fish tacos, man. They're the best. We'd been up above Rocky Point looking for a little secret halibut spot I've been searching out. I don't have numbers for it. I only had shore bearings, and it was foggy when we got up there, so much for shore bearings. So that didn't go up too awful well. And the yellowtail didn't bite up there either, although they've been around. They marked some here yesterday, but they didn't bite. So we'll see if we get a rebite on that. Sargos are still biting on the kelp line up there, though. And then offshore, mid-January, we still got some bluefin tuna around. My buddy Rick on the Oceanside 95 is out there checking the 60 as we speak. And there's other boats down in that 90-mile zone in 64-degree water looking for that bigger fish they found last week. So let's hope they find them. I mean, 64-degree water at this time of year in that area is just, like, unbelievable. So it bodes well. And for the exotic of the week, guys, One of my buddies caught a Garibaldi on a crocodile lure last week. Go figure that one out.
Really?
What?
That's pretty cool.
God. Off the breakwater out here in Long Beach, a Garibaldi on a crocodile. Go figure.
How about that, huh?
How about
I don't think I've heard of
What do
that
you
one. That's pretty cool. Well, Mark, a great job as always. If somebody wants to keep in touch with, we're talking about live bait, which I know I feel, Pete, I know you're the same way. The greatest tank to put live bait in a private boat is made by you at Pacific Edge.
No
if somebody
question.
wants more information on tanks and baits and all the great info, how do we do that?
Oh, we're at the corner of Bolsa Chica and Edinger in Huntington Beach. Phone number at the store is area code 714-840-4262. The website with a whole lineup of all the tanks and the other stuff, PacificEdgeTackle.com. And, man, when you got Garibaldi biting the crocodile, there's no telling what we might be talking about
who knows,
next week.
man? Hey, and I want to remind you that I don't know the guys on FishDope.com will have Garibaldi reports, but they will have fish report for you. And if you want to know whether those yellows are biting, whether those sea bass are biting, whether those bluefin are biting, FishDope.com is your number one source there. They're number one in Southern California, and for a good reason, because they give the best reports. $20 off a new membership to FishDope.com using the code HookUpNow, lowercase, no space, HookUpNow. Captain Mark Wish, thanks for the report. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, you got it, guys.
Thanks, Mark. All right, now let's head on down to San Diego, over to Seaforth Sport Fishing in Mission Bay, and talk to our buddy Marcos. Marcos, what's going on at Seaforth?
Hey, guys. How you doing today?
Doing great. Good morning.
Well, we definitely had some great fishing right up to the beginning of that weather there. Actually, on Monday, the new Seaforth between our two trips had almost 400 yellowtail.
Unbelievable.
But, yeah, unfortunately, that weather came through, kind of rolled over water a bit, and hasn't been nearly as nice the last couple of days. But they're still out there looking around, and the fish have got to be somewhere, so they're going to keep looking until they find them there. A little bit of bass in the count otherwise. And unfortunately, not much else to report there. Like I said, some great fishing leading right up to that, and hopefully that picks up soon. We do have the tribute starting their Baja Coast trips down to Colnet leaving next Friday, fishing Saturday, coming back Sunday, so definitely check that out. Seaforthlanding.com. You got those half days, got those day and a half trips up there. And I imagine within the next 2-3 weeks, you'll start seeing some more San Diego trips running down to the islands there. So keep an eye out for that. Seaforthlanding.com. Just call at the office, 619-224-3383. Come down, visit us in person, have the in-season Rick breakfast burrito. And, check out the tackle shop, spend your Christmas money, get your gear set up for, I guess you can say next season, but this last season really never ended.
Yeah, no
for
doubt.
sure.
And, with a great week of weather and, some nice warm water temperatures, I don't think any of us would be a bit surprised to see that fish pop right back up and get right back on the bite again, Marcos.
Not at all. There's some great weather today, and like I said, they're going to keep going out and looking, and they're going to find them eventually.
No doubt about it. Well, great report, Marcos. We appreciate that. Great call, and like I say, good time to talk to the boys in the tackle shop and get in on the goods. Appreciate a great report as always, Marcos, and talk to you next week.
Talk to you then, guys.
Thanks, Marcos.
All right, thanks. Rick Jensen, Sport Fishing Financial with that Northern Baja report. What's up, Rick?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Great fishing been happening in central and northern Baja, and we'll start the report down to Mag Bay, where Bob Hoyt, a Mag Bay outfitter, says the marlin are still around in the Outer Banks. Lots of school-sized yellowfin in front of the bay. Bay fishing's been very good with live shrimp, and the whales have moved into the bay. Already, a few of them have already had given birth, and Bob will be running overnight trips in the bay on the Wahoo Loco for people who are interested in having that experience with the whales and hang out with them for a day or so. So if you're interested in that, check Bob down there. Mulahey, Bahia Concepcion, weather's been real awesome. This northern wind blew through there a little bit Thursday. Lots of nice yellowtail, 15 to 25 pounds around. Their local Mulahey yellowtail tournament date has been set for the February 3rd through 6th with the kickoff captain's meeting on the 3rd. You want to get some information on that, check into the jungle there in Mulahey, and a little Super Bowl party in the middle, so that sounds like some fun. The other thing there in the Mulahey area, just south, Cass didn't cover it, but I guess you guys probably heard about the 424-pound yellowfin tuna that was taken there on 50-pound tests on one of the new lighter weight Valiant 800 reels. So that's big news in that area and not really all that common, I don't think, now this time of year to be getting those big tuna there. That's good news. Up at Bahia Asuncion, Sherry there at La Bufadora says the great fishing continues. They've got some real big yellowtail showing there up to 40 pounds. Some nice halibut being taken from shore. Same over at Cedros. Jeff says that the shore fishing right near town for the yellow or for the halibut on white plastics has been great. Yo-yo iron fishing for the yellowtails up at Punta Norte continues. San Quintin yesterday, Juan spent the whole day in the bay there targeting halibut. They just managed one halibut for the day, but they loaded up with all kinds of sand bass, and I just talked to them on the water today, and they're out at the 240 in a little bit of fog, going to see how the yellowtail bite continues there. Ensenada, lots of bait in the bay. Bonita, rockfish, and smaller yellowtail continue to be around in decent numbers. Didn't get any reports from the northernmost TFC of Cortez Bay and of LA and above, but that's our report for the rest of it for today.
Good one,
nice, Rick.
Sport Fishing Financial, and you know you've helped so many of our listeners achieve their financial goals, and with the way things are going in the markets and such like that, now is more than ever a time when you need a guy like Rick to help you achieve your future goals, whether it be an IRA or just managing your general portfolio so that you have a future to get that dream yacht or house or whatever. He can help you. So, Rick, How do we find you?
Yeah, sure, Pete. Those accounts, as well as if you own a business and want to start any type of pension or 401k, we can help you there. And with the market up where it is now, everything has been real easy and may continue to go good for a while, but you want to make sure you're properly diversified. So let's set a time to talk. Find me on the web, sportfishingfinancial.com, or on the phone at 949-481-1807.
All right. Thanks, Rick. Keep up the great work, and we will talk to you again next Saturday.
Okay, guys. Have a good day.
All right. Appreciate that. Well, hey, with that, we're going to continue on with the catch report. And today, which is sponsored by Gamakatsu Hooks. Gamakatsu live bait hooks. They drive the point home. Gamakatsu features the absolute perfect bends and ideal barbs to allow your baits to swim harder and swim longer. And when they do fall victim to the intended predator, Gamakatsu hooks bite back with a vengeance. All hooks are not the same. Go with Gamakatsu for infinite success.
Indeed. And I'll tell you what, we're working on getting Buck back up on the line here, and we'll have him very shortly. But in the meantime, here's a guy that's been around for a little while, Don Hansen. Good morning, Don.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Rick and Pete. I'm just waiting for Buck to get back on there to tell him I really appreciate being able to sleep through the nights now. So we got Buck. I got phone calls all night long trying to figure out where the bait boat was or what the bait boat was doing, and where was the bait boat and why didn't they catch bait. But it's much easier now to sleep all night without having to worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, with having Buck around just kind of took all that worry out of all the bait. Ever since the Everingham brothers took over the bait receivers in Dana Point, I mean, that like you say, it just helps you sleep better, right, Don?
Well, gosh, yes. And, Ricky's story, when you drive out there, it is, that wasn't quite the case years ago. You drove out there and where was it? But now it's much different and it's a much, much better deal. But couple of reasons I call, first of all, to thank Buck for an outstanding job, and John does a great job at the Catch a Lot, and the crew is excellent, as you guys have already talked about today. But this week at the Kona Kai, starting Wednesday through Friday or Wednesday through Saturday, the scientists from all over the United States, New England and the Gulf and Alaska and Guam and all over will be here, and they can talk about some of the stuff that Buck is talking about. They're doing more and more acoustical surveys now instead of this dragging the net. They're finding out that they can do a lot better with that kind of stuff. But those are the kind of questions that maybe Buck's son can come over, or somebody can come over and ask them why they, what's going on. We see more fish than they see, so
yeah,
it's a good time to ask those questions at the Kona Kai for 4 days. So you got a captive audience.
What is that, Don? What is that event?
It's the all the scientific committees from the 8 regional councils will be at the Kona Kai for a 4-day meeting.
Right in Shelter Island, San Diego. Wow, unbelievable.
Well, we're putting it on. Pacific Fishery Management Council is putting it on. It's our turn. It's one of the 8 regional councils to do it, and so it's here. It's been all over the United States. We brought it here, and they picked San Diego as the most. Well, first of all, it's much better than 8 degrees below zero or someplace. So
worst places to have a committee meeting.
Yeah, it's a great meeting. But the scientists are a different type of people, as you'll know, and most of us do know. And so, but they can answer the questions. And we're very fortunate that we now have one of the NOAA ships based in San Diego, the research vessel. And we're also very lucky to have a very good, outstanding Southwest Fisheries Science Center in La Jolla, which does a lot of work on anchovies and sardines and ground fish. And so it's very, very influential for people to go over and listen and talk to those people and find out what some of your questions are, because I know there's one question I have, and I've had it for many, many, many years, and Buck can talk about this. I know it makes it difficult to catch bait, and that we've got to figure out some way, somehow, to control sea lions. And I don't know. I'm not smart enough. I'm only 84 years old, so I got more time to figure this out. But we got to figure out how to do it.
I'll tell you what, Don, we're having some technical problems, so we'll go ahead and ask that question to Buck when we get him back on the line. So, but thanks for what you do up there at Dana War Sport Fishing, your whole crew. Your son's going to be on the show tomorrow, you know.
Oh, I know. I just got to get ahead of him. Had to get ahead of him just a little bit.
Yeah, that way you're going to be able to get a word in edgewise.
See you guys later.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks
See you,
a lot
Don.
for that call this morning.
Bye.
Appreciate that. Working on trying to get Buck back up here at little technical problem here. And so in the meantime, let's go ahead and jump into the phones. Let's talk to Gus, calling us from Burbank. What's up, Gus?
Hey, Gus.
Yo, you guys.
What's up, Gus?
Well, God bless the Everingham operation there.
Indeed.
No doubt about that, buddy.
Well, we would be lost without him. I know that. I'm calling to say thank you to Let's Talk Hookup and also to AFTCO. I was a winner, one of the winners on your Christmas Spectacular. And the package that I received is just, man, I don't deserve all that stuff. It's just so great. I got a jacket, a long sleeve shirt, and the shorts. Worth well over $200.
Well,
you know.
And there's nothing like the AFTCO clothing, Gus, as you'll find out. And I love that Horizon fleece, man. That thing. That's the best jacket. I wear it every day.
And just so people know, too, Pete, I can assure you that's not just something he says on the radio. It is sitting on the chair right here.
When it was pouring rain this past week, I was wearing it because it's waterproof.
It's having something as comfortable as a sweater, but it's a piece of true foul weather gear. And there's no wind, there's no rain, there's nothing. And
it's $118.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's a great jacket for a really good price, and it keeps you warm, too. Hey, Gus, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. We have Buck back. Buck, you back with us? All right.
I think so.
Don Hansen was on the line and talking about how great an operation and how you've changed his life there and the opportunities that you've given him for more sleep at night. So we just wanted to relate that to you.
My hat's off to Don for working with all the government agencies for us all, too. He's a tireless person on that, and he does a great job.
Yeah, and he says that all the scientists will be at the Konakai on Shelter Island this next week talking about fisheries issues and such like that. So I'm not sure you were aware of that, but that's a big meeting.
Yeah, I have two people, my son and Jason Dunn, will probably be in that meeting, I'm sure.
Great.
That's great, Buck.
That's good representation, for sure. Well, in the meantime, let's jump back into these phones. They want to talk to you, Buck. So
You got that. How about this time we talk to Doug? He's calling us from Montebello this morning. Doug, thanks for hanging in there with us.
Yeah, I was just wondering, what do you guys do with the dead catch the season receiver? What do you guys do with it?
I didn't hear all that.
The dead catch, basically the bait that dies.
Well, hopefully we don't have any dead.
Yeah, exactly. That's not an issue you want to deal with.
But we put it back in the environment and let the crabs eat it.
Yeah,
perfect.
For sure. Crabs and lobsters. Feed our lobsters, right?
Right. Yeah. We don't land it.
Yeah. Hey, Buck, Don also had a question about the sea lion issue, and I know this is something that you have to fight every single day. We talked about this article in the Tide magazine for CCA last month about the basically wiping out an endangered species in the Northwest, the sea lions, and they've got emergency orders now. There's not a lot that they can do about it. It's a huge headache. and I know you guys deal with it on an everyday basis, the sea lion issue. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Well, all I can say is they're protected by a sleight of hand, and they're overpopulated, and they're getting more and more aggressive. Our guys really having a tough time dealing with them.
Yeah, and the sea lions affect every facet of your operation, from catching the bait, and I'm sure them being in the nets and dealing with them on the boat, and then unloading, and then in the barge themselves, and the guys that are trying to help scoop bait. I mean, I can't imagine the having to deal with those things all the time. It's just such a poor situation that allows the fishermen just no recourse. It seems like it feels like there's nothing we can do.
Yeah, that's true, and it costs us probably close to $30,000 a year in lid damage and for material and labor.
Yeah,
because they get on there and break the lids and stuff. So.
Yeah, and you can't by law shoo them off the receiver.
Well, we can shoo them off. We use a paintball gun and a cattle prod.
Okay.
The legal stuff that the National Marine Fishery gives us to do.
Yeah.
And we do that, but they want a place that's easy to haul out and they can dry off.
Yeah.
That's a constant battle to try and, keep them out of there.
Yeah, because it wrecks the receivers, like you say, breaks the lids, and you can get dozens of them on the receiver, especially some of those big ones, and it just crushes it. It's just, It's a sad thing to see. And I want to make one thing clear to our audience once again: these are sea lions, not seals. The harbor seals aren't the ones that are doing the damage, right?
Oh no, harbor seals are awesome. In fact, I don't think I've seen a harbor seal in San Diego Harbor, maybe one or two in the last decade.
Yep.
And the sea lions have totally displaced them. They've displaced them at La Jolla. They're just taking over all the areas for the harbor seals.
Yeah. And
they're very mellow. They're very cute. They don't create damage. They don't even care to get in a receiver.
Yeah. And some of them are just they're becoming brazen. I mean, they're aggressive, and they're becoming more and more problematic. And it's just, I mean, you hate to say it, but it's a fact. It's a matter of time until something really bad happens to somebody. And I mean, that's not what it should take to have there be some sort of action. Like, action should be taken before something really bad happens, but it's just going to happen. It's just going that way all the time.
We had one angler drug off a dock at Mission Bay and taken to the bottom with his fish.
Really?
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. And you said you have interactions with your guys scooping the bait all the time. They have to kind of almost defend themselves, right?
Well, anytime a box is open, if they're not there to keep them out, or one of the guys in the sport boats, and they have to actually be very diligent and keep an eye out, because they'll come up and try and bite them and stuff. So they've got to try and deal with that all the time.
Unbelievable.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and gosh, we just hope that something, somewhere, somehow, they figure out a way to basically, all we're asking is to control the problem ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not all of them. It's not all of them. It's just a few problem ones, because they're smart and they.
Well,
they
we've had an issue with a couple that are really bad, and we've notified the authorities, and it falls to dead ears. They won't do anything about it.
The thing that drives you crazy, if that were a dog, if that were a mountain lion, if that were a bear, if that were insert any, single problematic thing, you don't get rid of all the dogs, you don't get rid of all the mountain lions, you take a single select one that, has altered its natural behavior and become superhuman aggressive, you just take that one out of the population. That's how it works with every other thing, but you can't touch the federally marine protected, sea lion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Pretty sad.
Sad situation. Well, hey, let's go ahead and jump back in the phones. We have more important things to
You're
talk
dang
about.
right.
Like
Exactly.
Yeah, sure. And if you want to get through, there's been a busy morning, very hard to get through. 858-457-1090 open right now.
How about Odie calling us from Norwalk this morning? Hi, Odie. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Yes, good morning. You kind of answered my question about your seal, to take care of the seals when they attack your bait there.
Okay, once again, Odie, you're not listening. They're not seals. They're sea lions. There is a difference.
Whatever.
Okay.
I'm just telling you, it's one of my pet peeves, right? You got to call them the right way. I like seals. I don't like sea lions.
Okay, okay. Anyway, about your bait that you have, when somebody comes up to your dock there to get the bait, do you actually look and see exactly what they're going to put the bait in, so they can tell them if it's going to stay alive or not?
I think the question, Buck, is, will the guys on the barge give a recommendation of the amount of bait, the type of tank that they're putting it in? Do you guys get faced with the situation of a guy that maybe has a tank that's only appropriate for a scoop, but he wants a little bit more? Did the boys kind of give recommendation as far as, tanks that are outfitted on guys' boats and that kind of thing?
Yeah, the newer guys that are brand new may not, but the guys that have been there will they'll tell you to buy less, even though they'd rather make, more sale, but
sure.
They want your bait to live. So, yeah, they'll give you recommendations, no doubt.
Yeah. The first question I always ask Henry or any of the guys is, how are we looking today? How's the bait? And they'll tell you right straight up, hey, it's been in here for a week. It's fantastic. And it's like, okay, load it up.
You're so right. The first guy, load it heavy, load it light. They know.
They'll tell you.
Yeah, they're the best. They're the best at dealing with it. And, man, how would you not take that recommendation? This is really good stuff, man. You can pour it on, or you know what? It's super hot water. I'd go light. I'd go light today. That kind of thing.
They really want your bait to live and do the right thing. Hey, on that same subject, how do you determine the price of a scoop of bait? How does that work? It just seems you have not raised prices very much over the years, and it's still such an amazing value when you look at how much bait you're getting for a scoop there.
Yeah, it's average is about $4 a pound once you buy it by the scoop. Yeah,
by the scoop.
Okay.
So how do you determine how much you're charging? Is it just basically your overhead, or?
Well, we try and stop from raising our prices for a long, long time, and it just gets to the point where we need to do it to survive.
Sure.
And that's when we did it. I think we were 8 years before the last increase. I know one of them was probably 20 and 15 and years. So it depends on what it's costing us to do the business,
Gotcha.
I think that one of the things that I'm so stoked about this show, and I know, even being around it my whole life, it just, cements that fact, but thinking of all of the things that go into it to get that scoop of bait, the plane when necessary, the crew of guys running, the boats that go out and catch it, the boats that put it into the box, the maintenance on the boxes itself, building barges to keep those things up and running. The guys on the barge, the Henrys that are telling you, load it light, load it heavy, the fact that they're there 24 hours a day, 364 days a year. There is so much that goes into putting a single sardine in a box for you to use, and I don't care what you charge, it's not enough. The value is unbelievable.
Yeah, for sure. How long would it take you to catch that bait if
my
you had
God.
to do it yourself?
Yeah.
And time and effort and money and stuff like that. Hey, Buck, fantastic. You want to get through 858-457-1090? Let's jump back on the phone.
You got it. How about we talk this time to Chuck, who's calling from Dana Point this morning. Good morning, Chuck. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, guys. And thanks for the tips last week. And your sardines in that tank last week at the Halibut Derby here at Dana Point. First trip, took my good sardine. I'm fourth on the leaderboard already.
Hey.
Just some little tips last week in your bait. Excellent stuff.
Right on.
But, I want to know, did you name that big old sea lion down there in San Diego? Is that the Lion King or what? That guy sinks the end. And he bites the
what I would call him, I can't say on here, but
well said.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we have a name for him, but we're going to talk about that.
I got all kinds of names for him.
Lots of names for him. Yeah, for sure. Hey, Chuck, thanks a lot for the call this morning.
When we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. More of your phone calls, more great information from Buck. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
Pete Gray to tell you about one of my favorite places to fish in the world. It's Whalers Cove Lodge in Angoon, Alaska. For several years now, we've been hosting groups at Whalers Cove, and this is certainly one trip I do not miss. Each year, the Powers family makes great improvements to the lodge that make this great lodge even better. New rooms, new boats, new fish processing facilities, new outdoor kitchen. The list goes on and on. As for fishing, the calm waters around Whalers Cove are 100 miles from any large town, so you will enjoy wilderness adventure without the crowds. Whalers Cove Lodge has some of the best salt and freshwater fishing in Alaska, and there's no need for a bumpy boat ride for hours. You can find productive fishing for salmon, halibut, and rockfish just 10 minutes from the lodge. Here's the deal. The word is out on Whalers Cove, so you want to go? Book soon. WhalersCoveLodge.com or call 800-423-3123. WhalersCoveLodge.com for the Alaska fishing experience of a lifetime.
No matter the fishing conditions, count on the Seagar family of fluorocarbon leader material to help you catch more fish. Fluoro Premier has a smaller diameter with the highest break strength. Plus, it is super soft. When bites are tough, tie on Fluoro Premier. Blue Label is tough as nails with incredible abrasion resistance and impact strength. And new Pink Label is the choice for tough light conditions, giving you a little more visibility for better line control. Pick up a spool of Seagar at your favorite tackle dealer or visit Seagar.com.
All right, it's time. The Los Angeles Boat Show at the Fairplex in Pomona, conveniently reached from all points in Southern California. It's the Los Angeles Boat Show.
I'll tell you what, they're going to have it all. Deck boats, family boats, ski boats, the whole thing. But more importantly, they're going to have the fishing boats. Like the Parker boats from West Coast Marine will be there. Yamaha Outboards with their great new promotion. Great values on Yamaha Outboards are going to be there. And Inland Boat Center with Defiance boats will be there. Arima boats. And, of course, Blue Seas Fabrication, Sea Deck. So much more at the L.A. Boat Show coming up here at the Fairplex. You know, Fairplex in Pomona is so easy to get to.
It really is.
All over the place.
Yep, it's going to be a great event. Thursday from noon to 8 p.m., Friday and Saturday from 10 to 8, and then Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6. Admission's just $15, kids 12 and under for free, and there's always discounts available for U.S. active duty military.
You bet. The 18th to the 21st, it's the Los Angeles Boat Show at the Fairplex in Pomona. LosAngelesBoatShow.com.
22nd Street Landing Sport Fishing in San Pedro is home to LA's finest open party fleet, including overnights on the Freedom, Catalina Freelance on the Pursuit, half-day trips on the Monte Carlo, and three-quarter-day trips on the Native Sun. Plus, you can charter the Ultra, Spectra, and True Line. There's always plenty of free parking and a fully stocked tackle store. Take advantage of the Wednesday specials on the Pursuit and Monte Carlo, and kids fish free with a paid adult on the afternoon half-day. 22nd Street Landing Sport Fishing in San Pedro. Call 310-832-8304 or book online at 22ndstreet.com.
Alaska is one of the ultimate fishing destinations in the world. This is Rock Cod Rick, and every year the one trip I look forward to is Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. My dad and I have been going for over 15 years, and I just can't wait to go again. No one does it better than Kingfisher Charters. They offer the best service, the most comfortable accommodations, fantastic food, the finest fishing charter captains in all of Sitka, and the ultimate value. Sure, I've been to others, but time and time again, nobody beats Kingfisher Charters. You can catch huge halibut like the ones we do almost every year, and salmon, well, Sitka is famous for some of the best runs in Alaska. We also get plenty of rockfish and huge lingcod. And when it comes to fish processing, the best in Alaska is Kingfisher Charters. And listen to this, it's all included in your package. In fact, everything is included except the tips. It's truly amazing how the Kingfisher crew continues the quality of service they deliver year after year. Come and join me on the Let's Talk Hookup trip in June, or just go when you can. Kingfisher Charters, 800-727-6136, or check KingfisherCharters.com.
It's time for Yamaha's The Key to Reliability sales event. For a limited time, purchase a new select eligible 2.5 to 300 horsepower 4-stroke outboard and have your choice of either 2 free years of Yamaha extended service coverage or up to $1,500 in dealer credit. Reliability starts here. Yamaha. Visit your local Yamaha Outboards dealer today. Offer ends March 31st, 2018. Subject to change at any time. Other restrictions and conditions apply. See authorized participating Yamaha Outboard dealers for details. This promotion cannot be used with any other Yamaha offer.
Hookup.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. If you want to get through, been a very busy morning. Our local line totally packed up, but we do have a toll-free number available for you. That's 877-792-1090.
Be sure to check out this week's edition of Western Outdoor News. Always loaded with good information, lots of hunting, lots of good fishing. Big sea bass on the cover there.
Yeah.
Gotta love that. And more importantly, the Los Angeles Boat Show official program is in there too, listing all the details of the Los Angeles Boat Show coming up at the Fairplex on the 18th through the 21st. That's next week. So check it out, this week's edition of Western Outdoor News.
All right.
Let's go ahead and jump back in the phones.
They are packed up. Why don't we start this one off with Rory? He's calling us from Wildemar this morning. Hi, Rory. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
How you doing, Pete and Rick?
What's up, Rory?
I have a question. Okay, what is the best speed? Okay, I go out, my boat's out of Dana Point, and we go to Everingham all the time. What is the best speed that you would run your boat at so you're not beating your bait up?
Good question. Yeah, what do you think, Buck?
Well, there's two things you can do. One is watch your bait tank and see if it's getting air from going over and off of the waves. The other, I would say, is go back by the tank and stand on the deck without holding on to anything. And if you can do that, you're good. If you can't, then slow down. Unless it's rough seas, then you're going to be going slow anyway.
Yeah, and your bait's going to have some issues anyway.
What a good visual that is, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
for
totally.
Sure.
You know, if you can stand there, you're not pounding around, and your bait's doing just fine too. But if you're grabbing onto things, you can think about what your bait's sloshing around inside your tank.
Hey,
yeah,
Buck,
you can look in the tank and see if they're running into the sides and stuff.
Yeah,
that's a good way to.
Couple
Go
questions. Ahead. What about a light at night? Is a light a good thing to have?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
You do want to light your bait tank up at night so they don't walk into the walls or into the walls. Just,
And that's what the light is for, just to literally light the path so they're not bumping into things.
Yeah, and each other. Yeah.
Okay. And then the other question is, when a lot of times when I'll load the bait and I know it's a little bumpy outside, I'll kind of start out slow and let the bait settle in a little bit. Is that a good idea?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, anytime you can let them give a chance to start milling, then that's good.
Pete, you said something years ago that I think stuck with me forever. Like, we all do the same thing for the most part. You go to the bait receiver, you load your bait, and then you go blasting off to where you're going to go fishing. And then, inevitably you always get to that location and shut the boat down for 20 minutes and rig up all your gear. I mean, it's how just about all of us do the same thing. And you were the one that suggested just rig all that stuff up as soon as you're done getting your bait. You're float around right up, get out of the way, get out of the line, and rig all your tackle up then, and allow that, instead of, your bait just being in the tank and then pounding around for the next hour, just give them that 15 minutes right then to settle into the tank before you take off. And it's the same amount of time spent. You're allowing that bait to settle in and live. And I try to abide by that rule all I can. I totally think it makes a difference.
Oh, and it's easier on you, too, if you're in flat water trying to set all your rig up.
Yeah, totally.
Heck yeah, no doubt about it. And what happens is, I guess, Buck explained it, I guess that bait kind of gets into a pattern, right, where it starts to go around in circles and it needs to kind of settle in and get into that pattern, right?
Yeah, they start milling, they start going in circles and following each other, and they get real happy that way.
Yeah, okay, very good.
That's cool.
All right, let's go ahead and jump back in the phone.
All right, how about this time we talk to Gary, calling us from Lawndale. Is this the Iron Man? What's up, Gary?
Good morning, everybody.
Gary?
How you doing, Gary?
Yeah, I was sitting here, and I had way too many questions, but I'll go with two of them. If it was anything like Redondo Beach, everybody who pulls up to the bait barge would try to negotiate a different price or a quantity. I was wondering about is any of your bait ever used for anything other than bait? And do you pass information on to the sport boats, the stuff you've seen out there, like where they could go?
Thanks, Gary.
What was the part about the bait? I missed that.
It was a two-parter. The first one was, is any of the bait used for things other than bait, human consumption or whatever? And then also, do you guys work with the sport fishing fleet as far as passing information along?
Well, it kind of goes the other way. We try to get information from them and give it to the private customers. And they sometimes don't like us for that. But
But where the bait is, a lot of times that's where the fish are, right?
Well, not so much where we're catching it. There's some usually in that close, but generally everybody's offshore working patties and stuff, you know.
Sure. And you're catching a lot of your bait real tight to the beach, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you can only operate in U.S. waters, is that correct?
Yeah, correct.
So if that bait slides across the border, it's like, darn, huh?
Oh, yeah. We've watched it go.
Yeah.
I have seen...
We've sat there and watched it come over the border and nail it, too.
Yeah, there you go. All right, it goes both ways, right?
Yeah.
I have seen you guys making sets in shallow. I mean, shallow water. And I got to say, the guys that drive your boats have some cojones, man, because you... I mean, and again, it's just because, you know, of that drive to always provide, you know, bait for our fleet and keep things running. But sometimes those are big boats, and I've seen boats that are 10 times the size of mine get into water. We're like, I'm not going in there. And I got a 25-foot skiff, and you see one of the bait boats just come sliding by you, getting even in shallow or making sets on those baits. You got some serious cojones on the guys driving those boats.
What's the shallowest you can get, Buck?
Well, as shallow as boats deep.
but what about the net? Now, how do you deal with the net when you're super shallow?
It's the way you set it. You break it a lot so it cups, and you get right away and try and keep the lead line inside the circle and keep from rolling up and allow the boat to pull into the net. So you're as it closes up, your lead line and purse line is out of the webbing.
Yeah. Now, question about when you get a set that it's too big. Can that be dangerous for the boat and the crew?
Not for the boats we have now. No, it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's not. You're not going to roll the boat if you got too much weight in the net.
Well, if we had a power block, probably, because you're 50 feet in the air. But on our boats, the drum seiner, you're generally 5 to 6 feet off the water.
I see. Okay.
You know, I've had my boat lean and sag and dip pretty hard with too big of a haul, but, you know, that's kind of unusual.
Okay.
Usually when it's like that, we try to just take a piece of the school, not try to wrap the whole thing.
Uh-huh.
And then when you're in shallow water, it doesn't matter because they got their noses in the mud, so.
Gotcha. Now, have you ever figured out what percentage of your boats are filled with water when you're full capacity?
Oh.
Well, the EBCO carries 199 tons, the catch lot 80, and the Cougar is 94 tons of water.
Oh
so is that more than half of the volume of the boat on each one?
It's probably more like a 50-50 for space, so you don't sink.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you guys are basically right on the borderline, right?
Yeah, we do that with a marine architect. Things figured out with an architect. We don't take any chances with anything like that.
That's so cool.
So. No doubt about it. All right, let's try and sneak another call in, Rick.
Yeah, you got it. How about this time we talk to Dave, who's calling us from Spring Valley. Hi, Dave. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Morning, Dave.
Good morning, guys. Quick question for Buck. I was hoping you'd have a update for me on the Shelter Island boat launch, too. But here's my quick question for Buck. Buck, is there 10-8? Is there any chance to, for guys like me that have a small boat, I can't even take a half a scoop on my boat with me. Any chance to sell a smaller option to a guy like me?
Thanks, Dave, for the call. Buck?
Well, if you're in a boat, what we suggest is take part of it. And if you're fishing in the bay, you can do a split and then come back that same day and we can put more in it for you.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So buy a half a scoop and then take part of it and then come back and fill the other part.
Yeah. That way, if you have a really small tank, what you have lives better, and then you can get a little more and finish your day out.
Yeah. Now, do you know anything about the Shelter Island launch route? I know it kind of affected your business this year in San Diego, no doubt about it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. All I know is whatever date they say it is, it's probably going to be longer.
Oh yeah. I
doubt.
look at where they're at, right? And that's a good question because I have a number and I can get an update from the city guy or the port guy to see if I can get an update for our listeners. But last I heard was like June-ish.
Yeah, I think that's what I heard too.
And I think that's going to be really lucky if they can make that.
Originally, it was supposed to be now,
yeah.
And then I heard push back to April, and now I've heard push back to June. June, in the grand scheme of things, is not that far away. I think it would be very difficult to make. I mean, hey, let's hope they do, because I want our lawn tramp back. But
yeah,
I'm with Buck.
Yeah, I know 24th Street's a long ways away, but it's a nice ramp with a big parking lot too.
Fantastic.
Good call.
Yeah, for sure, no doubt about it. And that, and as much of a bonus as it was for us that have our boats in the water in San Diego Bay, I know you're looking forward to having that ramp back, right?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's try and sneak in one more, Rick.
All right, how about it's Dan and Encinitas. Hi, Dan. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, morning, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I just want to thank Buck for everything.
Thank you.
I go up to the bait tank, and I don't have to look for a good bait. They're all good.
That's it.
And I just had a question on squid. Do you round them up the same way you round up fin bait? And is there a way, conditions, as far as weather, when those things show up?
You talking about squid?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't try to seek squid out. It just doesn't live. So, if you go and catch it on a shiny sinker or some way, it'll live a lot better for you because it's not stressed out when we net it. But if we net it, we do it the same as we do for the other bait. It's all, same method.
Do you, when you're out about looking for sardine or anchovy, do you see squid?
Generally, if it's at night and you're up towards Torrey Pines, yeah, probably. In the canyon right there at La Jolla.
All right. Very
cool.
That's
generally, sometimes you'll see little balls on the surface, but they're those little balls are deceiving because they're probably 300 feet deep, I could call them. So they're pretty weird, but not too often, really.
Not too often. Well, Buck, we want to say thank you so much for taking the time today. Believe it or not, that 2 hours is wrapped up here, and we really appreciate, number one, spending the time for our listeners and then filling us in on your amazing operation, the Everingham Brothers Bait Company. And again, from myself, and I know Rick feels the same way, thank you for all you do for San Diego, Dana Point, Mission Bay, and all the anglers that enjoy having the best bait in the world right here from the Everingham.
Well, I appreciate all that, and sorry about having to phone in. It just life catches you doing different things. So. Roger.
Well, next time we'll nail you and get you in the studio.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
And in the meantime, I know you have a great website. Update people on what's going on. You update on what's in the receiver, what's going on. I know Fish Dope a lot of times has what's in the receiver and such like that up and down the coast. It's EveringhamBrothersBait.com. Is that right?
www.baitbarge.com.
Excuse me. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Much easier. Baitbarge.com, right?
Yeah, that's an easy one to remember.
Yeah, and that gives you all. And are you guys going to have a booth at Day at the Docks?
Yeah, probably. We have every so.
Okay, good deal.
I know.
All right.
Also do a good job on social media, on Facebook. There's updates and things like that, and it's good information. And hats off because you guys do a great job of keeping all that stuff updated when there's bait sizes
we do
available.
a lot of donations too for fish clubs for their stuff and all kinds of different stuff. So yeah, we enjoy doing that, helping the community out.
And Rick, the Facebook page is.
You do a search for, San Diego Bait Barge, Everingham Brothers Bait Company.
It's Everingham Brothers,
Everingham Brothers, all right. Buck, thanks very much. Happy New Year to you, and we're looking forward to a great 2018.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, you.
Buck.
All right, we'll see you on the receiver. Very good.
All right, when we come back, we're going to find out what lucky guy's going fishing on that 3/4-day trip on board the Liberty. You stay tuned. More Let's Talk Hookup coming your way on the Mighty 1090.
This is Rick Jensen with Sport Fishing Financial. I think most of you get that I'm a fisherman and work with the fishing community, but to understand exactly what Sport Fishing Financial does, ask yourself these 4 questions. First, do you really know how much money you'll need in order to retire comfortably? Next, do you know how much you'll have to save on a regular basis to reach that number? Do you have a process that includes a proven investment strategy and confidence that the money you save will grow? Last, do you have a plan for how to turn your savings into retirement income? If you don't have good answers to these questions, you're not alone, but you should, and I can make sure you do. In addition, if you own a business and currently provide or are planning on providing a retirement savings plan for yourself or your employees, we should really talk. We offer an outstanding variety of creative solutions that are sure to meet your needs.
Some of our listeners may feel overwhelmed. Others may believe they are already doing the best they can. In either case, I bet Rick can help. Set a time to meet with him and start planning for your personal or business investment success. Find Rick on the web at sportfishingfinancial.com or give him a call at 949-481-1807.
When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know, CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere.
Hey, this is Rosie with Cedros Sport Fishing. Cedros Island is considered the yellowtail and calico bass fishing capital in the world, and nobody does it better than Cedros Sport Fishing. We are committed to providing first-class service to our guests, as well as an unforgettable fishing experience. We have made a good thing even better. We now have a direct flight departing to the CBX in San Diego. Leave home in the morning and fish in the afternoon. We have a beautiful waterfront lodge with first-class accommodations and meals. What are you waiting for? Call me at 619-772-7570. Or check out CedrosSportFishing.com. Book soon. Trips are going fast.
This is Greg Stotesbury from AFCO. For more than 58 years, the American Fishing Tackle Company has been recognized as the premier manufacturer of precision-built offshore fishing tackle. AFCO continues this tradition today with an innovative technical fishing clothing line designed and built by fishermen for fishermen. From our next-generation waterproof shorts like Tactical or Stealth to our new anhydrous waterproof jacket and bibs, the entire AFCO clothing line is purpose-built with the latest AFTEC fabrics and features designed to deliver for the demanding angler. To find AFCO products, go to AFCO.com and find a dealer near you.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. You're the winner of that 3/4-day trip aboard the beautiful Liberty, and what a good time to win it. I know those guys are doing their maintenance period right now, doing some painting and doing some cosmetic stuff, so you're going to get to go on a very shiny Liberty. And that's going to Ralph in Lakewood. Ralph, congratulations. You are going to love fishing on that boat.
Oh, yeah. Certainly worth the trip down to Fisherman's Landing to jump aboard the 3/4-day boat Liberty out of Fisherman's Landing. And thank Rick. What a great show.
Oh, man, this was so much fun. There is so much that goes into that, and it was so cool getting to hear all the things and hearing it from the man that makes it happen. That was really fun. I loved it.
Very appreciative of the Buck and his entire staff. And don't forget, when you go to the bait barge and you scoop the bait, slip those guys. Those guys work all the time. Slip them a little extra, and they really appreciate that.
It's the truth, man. The thing never closes. They are so good with information, where to go, what to do, like you were talking about, how much bait to load, and those guys do it right. They're always loading the bait for you, and it's cold, and they're on the barge. So yeah, take care of the boys because they deserve it.
You no doubt about it. And thanks to Teddy filling in for Adam. We sure appreciate all your hard work this morning, Ted. And we'll be back tomorrow morning, 7 to 9 a.m. Hang on to your hats.
Yeah, here we go.
Captain Dave Hansen, your saltwater guide, will be in the studio with us talking fishing. That's
talking
tomorrow
something.
morning, 7 to 9 a.m. right back here on the Mighty 1090.